This morning on Today's Health, lies we tell the doctor. We've all been guilty of leaving out maybe part of the story when we talk to our doctors, and that, it turns out, can be a big mistake. Dr. Keri Peterson is today's Women's Health contributor. Keri, good to see you.
Good morning, Willie.
First of all, why do we do it? Why do we lie to the doctor when he asks these basic questions?
I think there's a lot of reasons. Some people are embarrassed to admit something that they're doing. Sometimes there's a stigma associated with it. Sometimes people don't even realize that the issue may impact their health. So it's multifactorial. All
right, let's run through a few of these scenarios. I think they're going to sound familiar to a lot of people watching. The first one here is the doctor says, "What's new in your life?" You say, "Not much, same old, same old." Meanwhile, things are going poorly for you at work. You were passed over for promotion or you were laid off. What is the health risk to these lies?
The health risk for this is moderate. Now, a woman usually spends about 1/3 of their time at work, and that can really take a toll on their medical health. First off, the most immediate thing you can see is that it can elevate the blood pressure. So if a woman's coming to me on their lunch break and I see their blood pressure is high and I know they're coming from work, the first thing I'll ask is, are you having a stressful day? Because it can impact it that quickly. And some other interesting statistics, if you're under extreme stress, you are 69% more likely to misuse your birth control, which can lead to unplanned pregnancies. And if you're unemployed and have newly lost your job, that can raise your risk of having a heart attack. So it's a real problem.
Wow, even the most basic question yields all that for a doctor. Interesting.
Yes.
Let's move on to the next one. This one's about drinking. This is a familiar question from a doctor. How often do you drink? You say socially, only on weekends, when the truth is you probably do it at a few happy hours throughout the week as well. What's the risk here?
The risk here is a high risk. And the problem is, why are you misrepresenting yourself? Is there an issue with dependency, or are you just underestimating how much you're actually drinking? Now, a woman should have no more than 1 drink a day, but many women will underestimate how much they're actually drinking because bars have these big glasses. They tend to over pour, so 1 drink may actually be the alcohol equivalent of 2 drinks. And there's immediate risks and there's long-term risks. The immediate risks, if you just have 1 night of drinking, you're not going to have a good night's sleep. You're more prone to injuries. It can cause you to feel bloated, and over the long term, it can cause breast cancer, heart disease, depression, among many other problems.
So bottom line, if you have a glass of wine with dinner every night, let's call it 7 nights in a week, is that okay?
That's okay, but if you're doing four alcoholic beverages per night, that's a binging. That's a problem.
Okay, let's move on to smoking. This is an uncomfortable conversation from some people. Do you smoke, the doctor asks? You say not really, maybe every once in a while, when the truth is you puff at least once a day or even several times a week. I think I know the answer to this, but what is the risk?
Well, the risk is high here. Now, many people don't want to tell their doctors that they smoke because they don't want to hear the lecture. But let's just go over a few numbers here because it's really going to impact how your doctor cares for you. 1 cigarette exposes you to 40 carcinogens. So because of that increased risk of cancer, like lung, breast, or cervical, your doctor may screen for them more aggressively. So it's going to change your care. If you're a woman and you take oral contraception, that can increase your risk of blood clot and stroke. So your doctor may want to find other ways to help protect you against pregnancy. So there are factors to take into account. Another thing, if you're having trouble getting pregnant and you smoke, smoking decreases your fertility. So it's something that you need to take into account.
All right.
Good news, though, if you quit smoking, it cuts your rate of premature death by half.
A really quick one I want to get in before we go here. Simple question, how are you doing? You say I'm fine, but you're actually sad inside.
Well, that could be a sign that you're depressed, and that can lead to social isolation from family and friends. That can lead to self-medication with drugs and alcohol, and there can be underlying medical causes that your doctor can test you for and potentially reverse your symptoms.
So just tell the truth to the doctor at the end of the day.
Yes, please be
He's
forthcoming.
the one guy you can talk to. Thank you, Dr. Keri Peterson. Thanks so much.
My pleasure.
Coming up next, from Beyonce to Ben Affleck, headlines from Hollywood when we come back.